It's Brian Preston, the money guy.
So let's kind of talk about, because how can you tell? Because a lot of you guys, we're now that we're hopefully getting out of the house in the next few weeks as we're ending this quarantine, you're probably going to come into your neighborhood financial planner that is going to try to sell you an insurance product. How do you know that don't get lured into the bad investment? What's some things that you can do to protect yourself?
Well, I think it's so interesting. We're doing a pre-show prep, and we were talking about, and we've been doing this for long enough. I remember back in the day when you could go sell one of these things and get pitched on how much you make, but that was way back then. And we were talking, you're like, guys, no,
this hasn't stopped.
You're wrong.
Yeah, this hasn't stopped, because we had, realize we have associates here that have worked on the commission side, and we called in one of them, and he goes, no, I think with the new fiduciary rules, they quit charging 8% commissions. I think they've pushed those down to like 3 or 4%. I said, no, that is not true. And I said, because I just got an email and I did a quick search. All you have to do is go into your email if you're a financial advisor, which is funny to me, is because we're fiduciary financial advisors. It's not hard to see that we are not your typical firm where we're doing commissions, but these guys just throw everybody in the pot and shake it up and send out these emails. And here's an adage that you need to understand. The higher the commission on a product, probably the worse the product it is. Because we hear the adage, does it sell itself? If you have to put an 8% commission on a product, it definitely is not selling itself. It's ugly. It's got some warts on it, and you're lipsticking the heck out of that thing trying to make this product sell. So you have to go empower a sales force and pay them a lot of muku bucks to get them to push it. But here's an email I got. This came to me on April 1st. And maybe
this was not an April Fool's joke.
But look at the subject line, by the way, was what's in boldface right there. Don't miss out on a 10% bonus and an 8% commission opportunity. They're pushing insurance annuity type products, and this stuff's still going on. So we're not done with this.
And look, I'm not picking on this company. I'm not even really familiar with this company. But this is what I think is so interesting. It doesn't talk a whole lot about the client. It's only talking to us as the advisor. Hey, here's what you get. Hey, here's what you get. Hey, here's what you get. It's not really talking about the client. If the products are designed to really benefit the person selling it, not the person buying it, immediate red flag.
So that's probably a great segue. Thanks for keeping me on track to signs you might be making a bad investment.
Sure. The first one is you don't understand the why the investment is a good fit for you. So I say this all the time to someone, Brian. If I recommend to you a strategy or an investment or a solution or a fill in the blank, and you couldn't go to your local grocery store and to the person standing 6 feet away from you, explain to them what I just explained to you, maybe you shouldn't buy it.
And it's one of those things when you're asking the question of, because you said why, and I like when people say the why, because as we've heard earlier in the show, a lot of times people's desires are in conflict. Because you will have people that say, the why might be, I want a guaranteed income stream for the rest of my life. But then when they find out, I can't pass it on to my kids, those things are in conflict with each other. So you better make sure you understand the why and know if this is truly a good fit for you.
The next one, the investment is complex and you don't really know how it works. Again, the 6-foot grocery store example still works. If you can't explain how the product works to someone else, maybe you don't need to invest in that. We tell all of our clients all the time, if you don't understand what we're recommending, why we're recommending, and why it makes sense for you, ask us, and we'll try to tell it a different way. And ask us again, and we'll tell you a different way. Ask, because you really need to make sure you understand it. Don't ever just sign on the dotted line because, they have a nice suit and they seem like they know what they're talking about.
Well, we said this earlier in the show too, is that the sales brochure seems incredibly simple. Come to me, I'll give you this product that gives you this guaranteed performance for, and you're like, wow, that's so simple. That's what I'm looking for, is a guaranteed performance. Take away the risk. But then they show up with, and Austin in our pre-show meeting, he's working the boards while Daniel's at home, also in the chat room, he goes, have you ever seen an insurance contract? It's like 130 pages.
It is.
So it's a very simple promise with a very complex back end. And that's where you have to be very careful on how you reconcile those two things.
The third sign that you might be making a bad investment, if there's a structure that doesn't make sense. And when we talk about structure that doesn't make sense, what we're really talking about is, do you have an annuity inside of an IRA? Why would you be doing that? If there's not like a really, really esoteric, unique, specific purpose for doing that, probably is not what makes the most sense.
Well, and respect the foo. We talked about these type of products should, if you're looking at financial order of operation, where do they fall? Even if you're doing it right, it's after you've maxed out fully to the legal limit of what the IRS lets you do into your 401k, your 403b, your 457s, your IRAs. There should not be any tax deferred boxes that have not been checked. That's where, so if somebody's coming to you and they know that you're only putting in to get the maximum match from your employer, but you haven't maxed out, and they're still recommending an annuity to you, that structure doesn't necessarily make sense.
And then the last one, and we laugh at this because we just seen bad advisors who do this. They tell you that insurance is the answer for everything.
And this is, I think back to my career. I've been doing this over 2 decades now, is that when I first started being a financial planner, you had, and we use the analogy of it was a stool, is that you had the financial planner. We're kind of the quarterback for this whole process, but you got your CPA, you got your life insurance salesman, because people do need life insurance. I don't want to mitigate that. I mean, I have tons of life insurance. You have tons of life insurance. There is a need while you're still working and you need to replace that income. There might be a need for certain things. And then you'd have your estate attorney. So you'd have all these professionals that were kind of coordinated and working together. Well, then the insurance agents kind of realized, we don't like that guy being the quarterback. We'll just start selling everything. So that's when you saw insurance companies start buying mutual fund companies so that they could get creative with rolling these things up. So now you see insurance agents, they'll tell you, if you need to save for college, I've got the product for you. If you need to pay off your mortgage early, I've got an insurance product for you. I mean, there's all kind of things that instead of, and this is one of the things when I worked in financial planning at the first firm, we sold a lot of insurance, and it used to bother me that we go sell these products that, yes, we'd go put 5 hours in and then have a huge commission check. And I was like, man, we could do the exact same thing if we put them in touch with an estate planning attorney that structured a trust that gave the same protection and save them a lot of money on that insurance premium that they're paying. But it was just different. And that's why I'm telling you that it's the same way why you still want that stool approach. You still want to have a good attorney, an estate attorney. You want to have a good CPA once your assets get to a certain level. But you also want to have a financial planner that kind of can coordinate all those things and bring in that insurance agent, because we still do a lot of insurance. It's just that when you think you have a one-size-fit-all, you get in some gray area there.
You know, at the end of the day, when we said this to start with, we'll repeat it again. Annuities aren't inherently a bad thing. Insurance products aren't inherently a bad thing. Unfortunately, and if you haven't had a chance to listen to us during our live stream, the chat has just been wonderful. I mean, the people are saying, oh, well, yeah, the reason advisors pitch those is because they are so profitable and they get paid the most. And so it's really, unfortunately, it's kind of true. We just want you guys to be well aware and well equipped that when someone does approach you with this, you can say, okay, yes, this does make sense for me, or no, this does not make sense for me, and this is why. And send the insurance salesman a link to this show, and we'd be happy to explain it to him.
Well, our like status on this show is probably going to be substantially lower than the channel average, right? I just can go ahead and see how the thumbs downs that are going to be pushed. We'll probably, the insurance guys will be rolling in here in no time. But guys, seriously, go to our website, moneyguy.com. Love for you to sign up for the resource page. I mean, that's something that's very powerful. A lot of people are taking advantage of that. All we ask for is your email address, and then we load you up with free advice. And that's all part of the abundance cycle.
That's right.
We've been talking about this, that we have been creating content since 2006, creating an online platform where you come, learn, apply, grow, and it's free. You're like, holy cow, these guys are literally just giving this away. What is the catch? Because you heard today, when we're talking about investing, when we're talking about planning, there's usually a catch when somebody's giving you something. Well, the catch for us is we do have an objective that lies underneath the abundance cycle, is that when you reach a level of success, you're going to get to it. We want you to come learn, apply, grow, but you're going to reach a level that you just don't feel comfortable. You've had so much success. Your assets have reached such a level that you're like, I need a co-pilot. I need somebody to help me make decisions. You'll remember who helped you build that foundation, and you'll come and we'll work together professionally as well, because we work with clients all across the country.
You guys mentioned at the beginning, we've crossed over 60,000 subscribers on YouTube. That is so thanks to you guys. If you are out there listening and you're just renting your seat to this show, go ahead and take some ownership. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Click the bell so you get notifications. As we have new information coming out, you will be notified. Make sure that you do that.
Yeah. Join the family. Quit coming to the buffet dinners and eating the food without actually joining the family. If you're showing up, don't rent your seat, as Bo said. I want you to subscribe and ring the bell for good service so that you can also get the notifications. Guys, we're having a blast. Money Guy team, out.